Hello guys, this is Lori with LM's Crafty Creations and I have another project share and tutorial for you. I'm super excited about this one. This is the last Craftology box for countrycraftcreations.com. For some reason I thought last month was the last one, but this is the last one, so really for real this time. They're going to change up the Craftology box and I'm not really sure what that's going to look like yet, but this is the kit that we have for this month and it was adorable. And even though I live in Texas, we don't get fall colors or a fall at all, actually. I love fall. I love the colors of fall and I love the thought of fall and the leaves. And so I had a lot of fun working with this one. So, included in our kit, the collection is Celebrate Autumn by Echo Park. And it was so cute. On the cover, we were given these wooden leaves, and I used them here. I have a cut apart that I've added some seam binding to. We were given this lace in our kit that was super cute, so I had to add that to the spine. And I did a burlap spine here. And then I'm going to add my lace to the back as well. But I got so impatient I wanted to film my video that I didn't wait. But isn't this paper really cute? So there's that. I thought the cover turned out really cute. So, open her up. And it's kind of long and hard to get all in the frame. I always have to have a pocket on the cover. You know that about me. So I did lots of cut aparts because this came with tons of cute cut aparts. These don't have anything on the other side, so you can journal or choose to add a photo. 3x4s and one 4x4. And then isn't this cute? I love the animals in this collection. It's just really adorable. And then I wanted to add a little bit something extra besides just the pocket, so I added a small waterfall. And these are 3¼ by 5, I think. This was the ribbon that came in our kit. And then again, I didn't put paper on this side, but I just added paper here. And then just a little scrap piece right there to fill in the gap because I didn't want my waterfall to go all the way to the end of the cover. So here the pages are the same. I've done 3 pages here and I had plenty of paper to do 3 pages. I cut apart all of the cut apart sheets, which in this collection there was 3. So if you didn't cut apart all of those, you could use some of that paper to make a 4th page if you wanted to. So I have a sticker border here. This is just a different way of cutting a pocket that I really liked how it turned out. I love this pumpkin truck sticker. And then I did my photo mats at 4¼ by 7 inches because I just thought that was cute. So I did a cut apart and some paper and then a little strip on the paper, and then it will accommodate a 4x6 photo. And then you flip this down and you have a cute place for a photo here. I added a tiny strip of paper here, a sticker. All of my stickers are always left open so you could tuck your photo behind it. And then a scrap of pattern paper. And then on all my belly bands, I put these cute little animals. They're adorable. And then this is a photo mat that I did. And these are the chipboard elements at the bottom of there. This closes and then the whole thing opens this way. And then you have a spread of different photo options that you can choose, and I think all of mine differently. Here I did 4x4 and 3x4 photos because I don't mind the smaller ones, but if you only like 4x6, it will accommodate those. And then I did 2 stickers here. And then I didn't put anything in my base pages, but you absolutely could for more space. And then on this side, I love the way this pocket came out. So there's a photo mat here. And then this is how it's like a folder style pocket, and then inside is another photo mat with some strips of paper on it. And then I just love this paper and how cute that is. So these just tuck back in here. Now it just depends. Everyone always asks me how many photos you can get. That depends on how you lay it out. I didn't count, but I like to use the cut aparts. So instead of a cut apart here, you could put a photo. So yours may hold more photos than mine will. It just depends on how you decorate it. So I never really know how to answer that question. There is a cut apart tucked in here, and this is a little pocket, And inside I did a booklet, and I just did photo mats here, paper, and decorations on top and bottom. And then I left it plain on the inside because this is 5 by 7, so you could cut down a full 5 by 7 and put those in here, and I thought that would be cool. Again, I did a sticker here, some of that cute trim, and then the book repeats. So I have the pocket with the cut apart, and then it flips down, and I decorated them all differently. This one has 2 smaller photos and then a 4 by 4. My little raccoon there, and then a photo mat. On the inside, inside, I did a 4 by 4 here, and this is like a 4 by 5 1/4, I think. And then just added some design paper and then a sticker. And my pockets again. On this one, I did a 4 by 4 cut apart. And then here, I did a 4 by 4, and then I have a journaling line stamp, and that's what I used there on a white piece of paper. Then you could add your photo on the other side. And then here I put this sticker. You could tuck your photo underneath. And then again, here's the booklet, some more stickers. And then blank on the inside. And they just flip right inside this pocket. And a sticker here, some seam binding, a sticker here. I used my envelope punch board to make the notches here. And then again, you could do photos or journaling there. And then I did a full-size photo here, my little squirrel. They all look like they're praying. Isn't that cute? And then the little pumpkin truck. Oops. And then open it up. And you have a nice spread here. I did a 3 by 4, 4 by 4, and 4 by 6 of a little hedgehog. And then again, the pockets with the journaling lines and the cut aparts, and then that cute paper. A photo spot, again my little photo mats. There really is a lot of space for photos in this one. Seam binding, and then again I have the little waterfall with the seam binding, and it just opens up to some smaller photo opportunities. And then I have the smaller cut aparts in the pocket, and that's it. So I think it turned out really cute. I loved working with the collection. It is adorable. So again, I have a large 4 by 4 and then just the 3 by 4. And here I rounded the corners on 2 sides and not the other 2, so that gave it a little bit of a different look. And that's it. So I thought it turned out really cute. I had a lot of fun making it, and I only used 1 paper collection, so that's always the goal with these Craftology boxes, and I think that I like that challenge. So let's get into how to make the pages. So you're going to start with, I have a big mess. And it's all jumbled up here together, so bear with me on this because I was trying to do this quickly while my daughter was sleeping. So for the base pages, you're going to cut 1 piece at 5.5 by 7.5, and then you're going to cut 1 piece at 6.5 by 7.5, and on this piece you're going to score on the 6.5 inch side at 1/2 inch on each end. And this is going to be our base pages. So go ahead and fold on those score lines. And add your glue. And here's our base page. Next, you're going to take a piece at 8 inches by 10 inches, and you're going to score on the 10-inch side at 5.5 inches, and then you're going to score on the 8-inch side at 1/2 inch. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cut. So if you can see, my score lines run down this way, and I'm not good at drawing straight lines, so forgive me. So there's our score lines. If you can see them, there's a little glare. We're going to cut right here and angle this up, and then we're going to cut this whole piece off. That whole piece. Okay? So let me show you that. I'm going to angle it just like a miter in a corner, and then I'm going to cut this piece off. I'm going to try to get it even. There we go. Whoops. Flying pieces. So then what I have is a flap that flips up, and make sure it folds correctly. And then I have this flap where I want to miter this corner as well, like so. Okay? You can even use your trimmer. I didn't get this very straight, but mine doesn't matter. So I'm going to add my glue right here to the inside of the flap, and then I'm going to tuck it to the inside of the base page pocket and stick it down. So this is our large spread for photos. And then here we'll have our pocket and a belly band. Let's add the belly band first, because the pocket, we need to do some cuts on it. So the belly band's easy. It's cut at 2 inches by 8.5 inches. And then you're going to score on the 8.5 inch side at 1/2 inch on each end. And if you want, you can measure this exactly and get it right in the middle of this page, which I might have done that when I did my actual album. But for the video's sake, I am just going to glue it down to the middle, and I'm going to eyeball it. So there we go. That's stuck down to this flap. Okay. Perfect. That's it. So this pocket is a little bit more tricky. This one is cut to what? 5 inches by 8.5 inches, which is this one right here. You're going to score on the 5 inch side at 1/2 inch, and then on the 8.5 inch side at 1/2 inch on each end, and miter the corners. And go ahead and fold on those lines, and then I will show you what we're going to do next. We're going to do some measuring and cutting. So the first thing that I did, I took my Tim Holtz ruler. Tim Holtz rulers are 1.5 inches wide right here. So I took the ruler, I butted up against the edge that doesn't have the hinge, the top of the pocket, and I drew a line. I'm just going to draw it all the way across at 1.5 inches, okay? And then I took it and I drew a line from the right and left hand sides at 1 inch. But I only need to go down as far as the 1.5 inch line I just drew, okay? And I'll show you that up close in just a second. 1 inch. Wait, no, that's 3/4 of an inch. Let's get it right. Bringing it down. Did I do 3/4 or 1? I better look at this, guys, because you know me. Yep, I did a 1. I don't want to refilm the video. Okay, so now this is what I have, and now I'm going to cut this out. So this is what it should look like. And I'm going to cut down here, and I'm going to cut this whole thing off. And then to make it nice and pretty, I'm going to take my little corner chomper thing, whoops, and throw it at me. And I'm going to round the corners. And that's it. That's how I made the pocket. There's our pocket. And we're going to add it right here. Super easy. Now I'll tell you a quick matting trick. When I matted, I'm terrible at matting these strange pockets. So what I do is I cut my pattern paper to, let's see, this pocket, I would normally cut it to, if it was a full-size pocket, I would cut it to 4 1/4 by what, 7 1/4? Yeah. So I do that, cut it to 4 1/4 by 7 1/4. And then I stick it inside the pocket here and line it up where it would go. And then I trace my lines right here and at the bottom and up. And then I pull it out and I cut those lines, and then I measure 1/8 of an inch over from each of those lines and cut that out, and that matches the pocket perfectly. So I didn't do it on this one. I messed this one up. But I did it on this one here, and this one's matted much better. So stick your paper in, just like, and have it, make sure there's 1/8 of an inch around each side. Draw your line here, take your paper out, and then measure 1/8 of an inch over and below each of those lines, and then cut that line out, and then you'll have a perfectly matted pocket. I hope that makes sense without doing a demo, because I didn't have a piece of pattern paper cut. So that's it for this piece, and we're actually almost done. So on the back side, you're going to add a pocket, and you're going to cut this at 4 inches by 8 3/8 of an inch. Score on the 4-inch side at 1/2 an inch, and then on the 8 3/8 of an inch side at 1/2 an inch on each end, and miter your corners. And then go ahead and fold on everything. And then add this pocket and line it up all the way to the left-hand side of the page. So all the way on this side. So you should have a small gap right here, and that's supposed to be there. And then we're going to add our pockets on top of that. Now these are cut at a different color, and I apologize. I just already had them cut and I didn't want to waste them. So these are cut at 3 1/2 by 4 inches. Now notice how they're scored. So it's almost scored like they're one piece of paper cut in half. So score on the 3 1/2 inch side at 1/2 an inch, and then on the 4 inch side at 1/2 an inch. And on this one you should have this L shape, and then on this one you should have the L shape going this way. So the orientation of your paper is important, because we're going to have these added right here, one on each side. So just remember that when you're scoring, and it doesn't matter when you're cutting the cards, but when you're scoring them it does. So if you're like me, you'll notice that, hey, darn, I did that wrong, because that's what I did the first time. So I'm going to put this aside because we're going to need to do some measuring on this. So go ahead and fold your flaps in on both of these. And then to make our angled pocket, we're going to take our ruler and measure over 1 inch at the top and make a mark. And then we're going to do the same on the side, 1 inch. Okay, can you see that with my black paper? I have a mark at the top at 1 inch and the mark on the side at 1 inch. And then I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to join those two lines together with my ruler. And then, like so. And then I'm going to cut it, and that will make my angled pocket. And you can either, oh, so sorry, I thought I was going to sneeze. Good gracious. So you can either measure this one as well, or you could flip it over and draw a line like this. So that's what I'm going to do. And they'll be the same. Okay, so now I have one pocket going each direction. So I'm going to add my glue to this one. And then I'm going to add my glue to the other one. And I'm going to add it to the bottom of the pocket. Now this is where you can see that this gap is noticeable. And it's supposed to be there. And it only looks bad right now because we're using a different color cardstock. So there's my two pockets. Next, you're going to take a piece cut to 5.5 inches by 4 1/8 of an inch. And you're going to score on the 4 1/8 of an inch side at 1/2 inch and 5/8 of an inch. So you should have 2 score marks. Whoops. And then I'm going to fold on both of those. And I'm going to miter my corner on each side. I'm going to add my glue to the inside. And I'm going to stick it inside the base page with the glue side up, and make sure you go just right up to that first score line. You want a little bit of a gusset on this one, okay? Okay, so there's our little flap. Now we're going to add a pocket to this. Now what I did for my pocket, well, let's talk about the size first. This is cut to 4 inches by 6.5 inches. Score on the 4-inch side at 1/2 inch, and then on the 6.5 inch side at 1/2 inch on each end, and go ahead and miter your corners. And then I created a notch using my envelope punch board for this, so go ahead and fold on everything. And then I'm going to use my little Timmy ruler here, and I'm going to find the middle, which is what, 2 5/8? Yes, 2 5/8 is the center of this, so that's where I'm going to punch my notch. So I'm going to grab my punch board. I'm going to put it in here, and I'm going to measure over to 2 5/8, and I'm going to punch it. And that gives me that cute little notch. Now when I'm matting it, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to measure in the middle and figure out what that measurement is and punch it. Add your glue, and then stick it down. Okay. And there is your pocket that I had. My booklet was cut to, it was a 5x7 booklet, so you cut it at 10 by 7 and score on the 10-inch side at 1/2 inch. So there's that. So there's the page. So let me talk to you about the cover pocket. So the cover pocket, I don't have a cover to demonstrate, so I'm just going to do this on the cover without a cover. So you're going to cut your cover pocket to 9.5 by 4 inches. You're going to score on the 9.5 inch side at 1/2 inch on each end, and then on the 4-inch side at 1/2 inch. Now miter your corners. We're going to pretend like I'm going to add this to a cover. And I actually added my pocket to the cover before I added, before. Sorry, before I added my waterfall. But since I don't have one, I'm just going to show you this example. So go ahead and add your pocket to the cover of your album. And then you're going to cut 4 waterfall pieces at 3.5 inches by 5 inches. And you're going to score on the 5-inch side at 1/2 inch for each of them. Fold on that score line for each. And then we're going to just quickly add them to the pocket. So you're going to add your glue to the outside of the flap, and you're going to stick it right on top of the pocket, and I lined it up with the left-hand edge. Okay, so there we go. There's our first flap. Now open that flap and then add glue to this flap, and then add it right underneath where this one ends. And your pocket should be your guide in making sure it lines up correctly. And just continue adding flaps until you have all 4 added. Last one. And I used a ribbon closure or seam binding, and you can use a magnet if you like with the little flap or just whatever you want. If you choose to use the ribbon, you would add your ribbon here, and then you would add one right here to tie closed, just like I did. So, and I'll show you that again. That's what I did here. Okay, so there's that piece. And I want to talk to you about one final thing, is the binding. For this type of page, you're going to need to keep your pages away from the binding. So you're going to need an extra gap here. Otherwise, this page won't open. It won't function correctly. So I'm going to show you the easy way to do that. So I have the measurements for this down below. I've included them. So you're going to cut a piece at 10 by 5 3/8 of an inch, and then you're going to score accordingly. And then instead of 1/2 inch hinges, you're going to have 1-inch hinges. And then you're just going to attach those 1-inch hinges together. So I already have mine here, and I'm going to, pretend like I'm attaching them, and I'm just going to make a big mess and add glue and attach that here just for the example's sake. So here is my hinge. You're going to continue on doing all these, and I have 1/2 inch gussets, okay? So I'm only going to do one hinge because I just want to show you, demonstrate to you what you're going to do. Is you're just going to take your page, and open it up the right way, right here. And you're just going to add your page about 1/2 inch down and leave that gap. See that gap? Just leave that gap between your pages. And you can make this hinge whatever size you want. If you want 3/4 inch hinges, do that. If you want, 1.5 inch hinges, I don't know, it doesn't really matter. But just make sure that you have a gap here between your page and the bottom of the book. So I would say, just guess about 1/2 inch, which is about right there. That's what I would do. So that way this opens and closes freely, and it doesn't interfere with this. So when you turn this page, this piece will turn easily and allow this to open flat. Does that make sense? Okay, that's it. So that's how you do that. Super easy. So that's all I got for you guys. I hope you like this album. It was super simple and easy to make. I finished it in a weekend, and I think it turned out really cute. So visit countrycraftcreations.com. Sign up for the next Craftology box. I'm not sure what's going on with the next box, but whatever it is, it's going to be super cool and you're going to love it. And you're going to get lots of goodies just like we do in our kits now. And what else? Visit us on Facebook. My page is LM's Crafty Creations on Facebook, so feel free, join me, show me the projects that you make using my tutorials. I love to see them. I try to comment as much as I can, but again, I have a 5-year-old and I work full time, so I'm busy, guys. But I do look at every single project that comes across my page, and I just love all of them, really, I do. Thank you for watching. And also visit the Scrapbookers of Country Craft Creations Facebook page, because that page is awesome. It flies super fast, and any questions that you have, there is a team of people there that are ready to answer them regarding albums or anything to do with scrapbooking in general. And there's awesome live tutorials and lots of other designers that are more talented than I am that are on the team, and they have awesome projects too. So visit us on Facebook. So, see you next time.